Today's topic is how to use a cane properly. So I told you when I think you need to use a cane. If you have difficulty standing on one leg and you cannot do it for 5 seconds on each leg. So how to use a cane is next. So I have these 3 canes here. You'll notice that this one is propped up against the wall because it has a single point. So this is the most transportable, but it doesn't stay up very well. So people will say that they lose these quite frequently. Good news is you can get these pretty cheaply at Goodwill, garage sales, etc. These are the type of canes that I recommend the most. Then we have a tripod cane, which stands on its own. And that's really the advantage of that tripod, as best I can tell. And then we have a quad cane. This is the cane that I recommend the least. I'll explain why in a bit. You'll notice it has the larger base. So, how to use a cane, no matter which one you choose to use. What's really cool about how our maker put us together is that arm swing is natural. When we walk slowly, we won't have much arm swing. When we walk quickly, we'll really see a more exaggerated arm swing because our marble is moving and we're getting trunk rotation. It's not because we're forcing our arms, it's a side effect of this marble motion and the trunk rotation. So I say that because you really shouldn't, most of the time, have to think real hard about how to use a cane. First of all, you have to make sure that the cane is the right height. When you're standing with good posture and your arms dangling by your side, the handle of the cane should be at your wrist level. This is way too short for me. So, at the bottom of the cane, you have to unscrew this piece, and there's a button here that you push in, and there's different holes along the way. You can adjust to the proper height. I'm gonna guess there. Here we go. Then I go back and I screw this bottom piece. This technique works for all 3 canes. That's how you know it's the right height. Remember when I said that balance is a sense? The use of the cane for most people when they are using it purely for balance is just for the sense of touch. Just like touching walls, you don't have to press hard usually. If you do, that means the cane's probably not enough support for you. And we'll talk about a walker at some point. So with this cane, I just tell people when you walk with it, just tap it down rhythmically as you go. Don't think, turn your brain off. Let the natural stuff happen for you. Just touch it down naturally. And typically, when you get into a rhythm and you just go with what your body wants to do naturally, it will happen correctly. That the cane will go with the opposite foot. Because that's what happens when we walk without a device. The right arm goes forward with the left leg. That's that natural arm swing we were talking about. The left arm goes with the right leg. Now people always ask, does it matter if I have a problem with one leg versus the other? For the sake of balance, again, it's really just for most people, it's just which hand they feel more comfortable with. So if you're right hand dominant, you're probably gonna wanna hold it in your right hand. If you're left hand dominant, you're gonna wanna hold it in your left hand. Some people like to hold it, and it's pure preference for balance. Some people like to hold it in their left hand if they're right hand dominant, so this hand is free. This little doohickey is nice. You can do that so that you're less likely to lose it and you don't have to stand it up while you do some things. Maybe a little annoying, but that's an option. But you don't have to press down hard on it. If, however, you have a balance problem and let's say a bum knee, let's say your right knee is the problem, then you would want to hold the cane in the opposite hand. So many people do this, which is improper. Okay? This is more like the Cro-Magnon man walk. People think that they need to brace the side that hurts. This is not a normal gait pattern. Instead, if you use the cane on the opposite side, when you go to put weight on the side that's painful or unstable, the weight will be shifted over towards the cane so you can take some weight off of it. The tripod cane, really the same thing. It doesn't matter which hand you hold it in, it's pretty straightforward. The quad cane. I tend to use the quad cane more for someone who does need to put a little pressure on it, like if someone's had a stroke and they have weakness as well as the balance issue. This one happens to be a good height for me. What you need to know about these guys here is that you notice it's not a perfect rectangle, that these legs of the base of the cane are closer to the center here than these that are angled out a little bit. This is meant to be used in your right hand so you don't trip yourself. If I used it on the left side, because these stick out more, I'd be more apt to trip myself. So same type of thing. There's a dial here at the bottom that you unscrew. You push the button here. You can adjust the height if you need to, which I don't need to, but you can also turn the base around and then screw it back in so that now these angled legs are facing away from me if I want to use this on my left side. Right. I hope this helps. Please be safe. Please don't be afraid to use these. Remember, you look a lot younger and a lot more able-bodied, walking upright, doing things, being out, being active, than you do sitting at home because you are fearful of falling, doing less, getting deconditioned. And quite frankly, with a cane, you look a lot younger than if you're tripping and falling on the ground. All right. Have a beautiful day, everybody.